Okay, so we'll begin the Persona RPG. At this point, we are in Eatonville, Washington, in the shadow of Mount Rainier. Each of you have grown up in this small town. Um, we'll start a couple days before before school starts, and then we'll fast forward a little bit, get some of the stuff in the school. But partly at the very beginning, it's like, here's how the system works, and partly because Lexa has played this system before. Let me give you the link to the Cortexatron.
Don't rely on me to help.
No, but you know basically how it works.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of treat the very beginning a little bit like we're going to meet like some of your major NPCs, kind of get those relationships. I will be pushing you into a conflict. One thing to keep in mind: the way conflicts work in here, when you get stressed, because you have those afraid, angry, exhausted, insecure, and injured stress tracks. When you get those stress, those end up becoming experience, and you also can have like a scene with usually like another player ends up can wipe out your wipe out one of the stresses and put it in there. So like stress is something you actually want to have happen, and stress can take you out of a scene. It cannot dictate what you do. So if someone is pushing you, for example, like let's say they want you to give them the password to a special place. If they defeat you in it, you don't have to give it to them. It might be where you storm off angry, or like you are not forced to give that up, but you can end up being essentially mechanically removed from the scene. Your character may shut down and do something else, but you're not like... It's not like the social combat mind control D&D. I made my charisma roll with my +2, so you have to turn your army around. Kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, Lexa, so tell me a little bit about Ivy's relationship with her brother Miles.
With Miles, so it's... She's part of a family that cares about each other very much. Miles is the sibling that is the closest age, and so they go to the school together. And because they're of that age where they aren't like... They're coming into themselves, and it's not as like... They aren't as like emotionally mature as they should be. They're coming into that. Mm-hmm. And so Miles has a streak of thinking that he and like her other siblings and like what's the word for the like school counselor, that's it. Mm-hmm. Like they have ideas on what could be done to help her, and because he is the one that shares the most time with her because they go to the same school together, he has sort of like put it on himself to try and like push it on her. So he thinks that he's doing like the best he can to help her and like help her move forward, but also because of that it creates a very, very frustrating relationship, right? Like they care about each other, but also get the fuck off my back, please.
Yeah, so and this was partly because you lost your parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the reason we moved down here was to get away, basically.
Okay. And is it who has legal custody?
It'll be my eldest brother.
Okay. So is that Miles or is that someone else?
Someone else. It's I don't have a name right now.
Okay, that's fine. I would just
kilometers.
Yeah.
We have so we have Miles, and then I have an elder sister and an elder brother.
Okay. It is basically the next day. You're going to be going. School starts tomorrow. The summer is almost done. How long have you been? Are you? Well, you can't be totally new to this town because you've met some people.
Yes, it's been 1 to 2 years,
okay,
depending on which you would prefer.
Yeah. So the summer is coming to an end soon, which means all the days of doing what you want. So I don't know if you hold down a job.
It might be something in my future.
Okay. And I don't know what it's like over there, but 16 in America, you sometimes that's like the minimum age to get a job. It's not unusual for people to like work, especially fast food or maybe some retail stuff, but plenty of people also don't work as well.
There's lots of apprenticeship stuff over here that the 16-year-olds will be getting into.
Okay. So yeah, there is. How much time do you spend in your room at your house?
It can vary. Sometimes I'll be out most of the time, but then other times I'll just be like in my room, just all day.
Yeah, so this has been one of those like in your room all day things. And as it's getting kind of towards the night, there's a knock at your door.
Cool. She's doing that thing where she's in headphones listening to music very loudly, so she doesn't hear the first time. Yeah.
Is the door locked or?
There's probably that thing where like it is locked, but it's also that kind of family. It's like, we don't really like locked doors in the house. Yeah. But yeah, she like hears eventually, right? And then she like takes off the headphones.
Yeah, there's a point where you just hear kind of coming through, Ivy, 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 Ivy.
Oh God!
Ivy.
Oh God! Yeah. That changes things. Yeah, she almost like she puts down her headphones, takes a deep breath, and then gets up, opens the door, and goes, "What?"
And Miles is sitting out there and kind of flashes you a smile and goes, "Oh my God, you're alive!"
She rolls her eyes.
He like grabs you by the shoulders, like you're here.
Yes,
you're here,
yes.
and we're gonna. Oh, I was so afraid. And just kind of like just comes into your room, just sort of looks around, and is like, you know, for someone who spends a lot of time in here, you think you'd do more with the place.
She shrugs and says, "Sorry, I don't have boy band and like Justin Timberlake pictures everywhere." Like your room.
Yeah, what do you like to listen to? What are you listening to now?
Yeah, the music's probably still coming from the headphones, and it is. God, what's really fucking like Rammstein or something like that?
Let's go. Rammstein. You know it's 2018.
She shrugs and says, "I like loud."
There's 2018 loud.
Yeah, but like it's like tiny Japanese kids pretending to be metal.
There's also people who aren't tiny. There are, you know, American loud.
You'll have to show me sometime.
This is the problem. This is the problem. And this point, this is where he's starting to push a little bit more towards conflict on this one. He goes, "This is the problem because you sit there and you want to be weird. You want people to think you're strange. So of course they think you're strange because I love you, but you're strange. I mean, like this year, are you gonna try to do anything besides just be miserable?"
Well, you made me do that fucking photography bullshit last year. I guess I'll just keep taking that. Who knows? Maybe I'll like insert name of famous photographer here. Oh wait, are there any famous photographers?
If you're listening to Rammstein, there you probably know some sort of famous photographer that like most people don't. Listen to. He's like, I just listen. You've got to do something with your life. At this point, you're sitting at home. You're locking yourself in your room the day before. It's coming up, and I know you. You're just going to end up miserable the entire time. So what I need you to do is, I don't know, join a club, do something. do something this year. So, and he rolls. Now, a lot of the stuff is going to work as before. So, whoa, that did not.
Fuck me up, literal fan.
And check dice or effect. Oh, there we go. Because you need to do something. Because you can't just mope in your room all the time. It's not healthy.
What is healthy? She like tilts her head. Going for class president. What is it? The council? The cult? What is it? I can't remember.
Are you like, student council, or are you talking the...
yeah, student council. She's like, what, that cult, or like tyranny, I guess I would call it? Or like, would you rather I make some sort of like dubstep music on my computer and become an overnight sensation? What, like, is that healthy?
Okay, so at this point, to see how that kind of works, so the roll, it works like in the previous, in the Marvel Heroic that we used, but after you kind of done it out, you use one of your values. Like, how does what Ivy say, like, attach to one of the values that she's got? A relationship and a distinction. And then your extras and locations, if some of those do happen to fit, those get added on as like an extra bonus to something.
Cool.
Like, yeah, so if you end up rolling those, but you can only roll those twice a session, because when you use it once, it knocks one of them away. But if someone else has the same one and they roll it, it also reduces the whole thing by like one. Mm-hmm. So the basic thing here is, when everyone starts off with, just give me this real quick. Plot points. Deal. 2.
I didn't expect it, but my character is immediately turning to that girl from Hercules. So roll.
Oh, and I just dealt out to not everyone's on Roll20. I did just deal out to plot points to everybody.
Oh, I totally forgot we had a Roll20.
And I'm considering, though it's probably a little bit more work. It would be kind of cool to do a thing where if you use something on each of those, the demon side, you can actually do something with it. But to actually have that information available would be a pain.
The what, sorry?
Oh, never mind. Well, I use the demon seals from the Greater Key of Solomon. I think the Lesser Key of Solomon. For the plot points. I thought it could be cool. It could be a cool thing, or if you could tie it into what that demon's thing is, you get an extra bonus. But that might be
pretty cool.
That might be a pain to look up. I think there's a flavor thing. It could be neat.
Yeah.
So at this point, so she's just done her response, which to me kind of sounds like your burnout as far as distinction.
Yeah, I was going to say authority. All these people aren't helping. My own way is best.
Yep.
Then I can roll my relationship with my brother, and then burnout.
Yep.
So D10. My brother is a 1d8. And burnout is 1d6. Is there anything in burnout? Do I earn a plot point when my behavior or appearance attracts negative attention?
You would, but this right now, I mean, you're in an argument.
I guess you set it up, right?
Yeah. Usually that's something you set up to be like, oh, I'm gonna cause some problem.
Okay. Roll. Oh, you may. Yep, you beat me. Choose best total. Choose best effect. Key results. So I got a 10 and he got a 12.
Okay. So, and just like before, she tried to beat the total in this case. So it does the back and forth, but because this one didn't do, you'll take. It kind of makes sense if this is a D8 angry.
Sure.
Yes, you'll take a D8 in angry stress.
D8, that's pretty good.
And what was the last thing you said again?
Basically, she was like, "What the fuck is healthy? Would you like me to like try and aim to be like that tyrannous cult thing you called student council, or become an overnight dubstep sensation. Foreshadowing.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe being on the student council wouldn't be that bad. Maybe getting into a social group that goes and sees music wouldn't be that bad instead of sitting here and moping. Because you know what? You've been wallowing. You've been wallowing for years, and it's time to stop.
She frowns and says, oh yeah, she says, are you going to force me to do anything?
No, but I'm going to bug you until you do.
Great. I'll remember to get the bug spray. Now, can I go back to my, like, old, I guess you would call it, music?
Yeah.
They just released a new album, by the way.
Yeah.
She closes the door on him, I think.
No one listens, no one cares. You know why I didn't know Rammstein released a new album? Because nobody cares that Rammstein got a new album. Okay, and we'll cut over to Colton. I'm sorry, Oren.
Yep.
You. So your relationship with Koji, what did you have for... I'll double check something real quick. How many... So you've got June, you've got Koji. Just double checking. I know there was some people I put in that they'd missed a few. And so yeah, you don't have a lot as far as that are. So we'll go with June. So tell me what your tenure with the student council is like.
With the student council, we've probably already been in school a couple days, not like in classes, but if there's anything he can get ahead of already, he's probably already neck deep in the budgets and everything like that. He's friendly with the council, but kind of treats it like a job. June is probably his only, like, real close friend, but even then it's kind of a distant relationship.
Okay. So in the summer, are you hanging out at home? Are you hanging out someplace else? At a place where June would find you?
Like, if I still have access to, like, the student council's room in the school, he's going to be there a lot of the time.
Okay. Well, to figure out who's the one who's actually, like, in charge of the student council.
Not...
Okay. So at which point you have, as you're there kind of working on some stuff, so coming up soon, you've got a bunch of stuff with the student council. There is the freshman orientation the student council helps with. You also have coming up, I mean, homecoming is not terribly far after school starts. You're getting that stuff kind of ready early.
If a weird Japan America student council, I probably have to give some kind of opening speech.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, like opening speech as people come in. So she comes in. Yeah, so we should probably talk about Sobra Sabari. Sobra Sabari he was on student council, and this summer, just kind of up and moved. There was a whole thing where everyone was kind of freaked out that because he disappeared for a bit, and it turned out that he had moved into Seattle. Like, his parents were unaware of it, but he had just sort of picked up and gone, and is the rumor's been that he's sort of living with a commune of hippies, like just outside Seattle. But he would be a junior this year, which means he can't really technically be emancipated as of yet without some sort of court intervention, which hasn't happened. But there have been a lot of kind of rumors and such going around because he was always a little bit weird, but was very much into like he kind of threw himself into anything he was in. Yeah, she's like, we should probably talk about Sober.
He did put us in a situation when he disappeared.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are wondering. Want over to say something. Like, there's some people I've heard that are kind of freaking out. Because this kid's just gone. I mean, just sort of up and left. They said he was being really weird beforehand.
I don't know really how much authority we have. We can calm people, we can tell them that he's alright, and that, well, a family situation regards family privacy. But rumors spread, things change.
Wait, he's alright?
Hell if I know.
Well, how are we going to tell people he's alright if he's not? If we don't know?
Would you prefer the opposite?
I prefer that we actually told people, you know, it's what we know to be true.
Then let's go with that. The truth and nothing but. And if our truth at the moment is ignorance, then it is.
How do you spell your character's name again?
Cearas.
Okay, hey, that's right. That's right, with the loft. I don't know why you're first. Look, people are freaking out. They don't know exactly what happened, because there's a lot of people have been acting weird, and she's actually not wrong on those things. It's just like, I think what we should do is we should do something to kind of make people just feel more confident, because something's going on.
What would you suggest?
Could you actually get a hold of him? I mean, you are student council president. I mean, you represent the school. You get a hold of him and see if he's okay?
Alright. I need to delegate some of the other paperwork to the other council members, but I can make this priority one. Just have the Secretary of Treasury run over the budget numbers again, and I'll start seeing about pulling records.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you actually are able to find out kind of where it is he's staying. And it is sort of in this sort of hippie commune that's like just outside of Seattle.
How far it is a ways to drive?
About 45 minutes or so, probably to Seattle, and then like 15 or 20, about a little hour and 10.
Is there a contact number for this area, or is this the kind of place that wouldn't have like a central phone?
You can't find a phone number, and the one you have for Sober doesn't work anymore.
Jim, did you know this man personally at all?
He was just a little weird. He was really kind of big into everything, but I didn't know him well, but he seemed nice enough.
I can't get a hold of him, but I know where he is, and I have a car. We can go find him.
Okay.
But we don't really have the authority to bring him back.
We're not trying to arrest him, but just make sure he's okay, that we can actually say something besides the rumors that have been going around.
All right. Are you up for a trip?
Right, we want to cut to you going to the commune?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get there. It's not too long before you actually are there in a room, and he was this really incredibly enthusiastic, like the one like kind of geeky in the enthusiasm, where he would jump to like volunteer to do stuff that he clearly didn't know how to do, but he would be there and he would be in and he'd be like all about it all the time. Tons of energy, like too much energy that was kind of going all over the place. And when you see him there, he's with this group and he seems like unusually intense in a quieter way than you've seen before. So he kind of looks up and he just goes, Saris?
Sober. Sorry.
What brought you here?
We were worried, essentially. It's not every day that one of my students, my student body, just disappears.
Yeah, well, sometimes things change, and what brought me here for a bit is looking you straight in the eyes with, like, again, kind of a weird intensity. You almost feel like something stirring, what your character doesn't know. This is the persona kind of starting to react a tiny bit, but there's something weird.
Yeah, there's like a similar stare down, but it's not like spectral or anything. It's like this is the eyes. Saris like turning the eyes of judgment on this kid, like he does to so many other people.
Okay. Yeah, he's kind of matching with it as you both end up in this stare down. So we can actually roll out the stare down in this case. Oops. Oh, didn't this used to have the thing where you gotta hit the stuff for it. Check dice total. Yeah, as you kind of feel that stare down, as he's sort of looking kind of deep into you, like neither of you are moving. There's one where June just sort of like takes a step to the side and is like kind of glancing between the both of you as the stares are happening. You can kind of feel a weird will as he's staring you down. So he's got a 14 with a D8 effect. So what you'll do is, in your case, which of your values would fit?
This is me. This man is left. This man is trying to impose himself above me. I am my own justice.
Okay. So that, and then relationship-wise, June is here, and she's probably the one that fits the best.
Yeah.
There. And then, which of your distinctions?
I've got a distinction called Not Born Yesterday.
Okay. Now, the other thing you can do... I'll clear the dice in there. So the other thing you can do now is, once you do those, you have to say it before you do, but you also can use the student council, which means, and actually you'd actually be able to roll them together because the student council are both D4s. So what happened is you would roll both D4s, and then whatever your total is, you would add one of the D4s to that total on top of it. But it means the student council's been used once this time, and it can't be used. It can only be used one more time in the session.
Okay, then I'll throw in the student council real quick, because I'm acting in my capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll roll all dice.
Oh, I'd remove some of the other ones. So I would say...
No, I just rolled the 2d4 for
Okay.
the student council or whatever.
Yeah, so that one of the two, the 2 will be added onto your total. Take a d4, or take a plot point for the 1.
Okay. And everything else. So a d12 for justice, a d8 for having June around with me, d8 because I wasn't born yesterday, and then we'll just add 2 to the final results. I think I get like a 13 with a d8.
Okay. Which does not actually beat his 14. So this, as he's sort of staring you down, I just describe, like, you said your entire will was going towards it, or how did your part of the stare down, like, look from your point of view, or possibly internally?
The stare down, or at least the one that I'm giving him, isn't one of, like, trying to force him into submission. This is, I believe there's something wrong here, and I was trying to, like, strip the lie away with the gaze. But it seems that whatever it is, either I don't know what's going on, or I don't think he's hiding anything from me.
Okay. Yeah, so as you two are sort of staring each other down, since you did not beat what he put, he'll give you a d8. For this case, it'll be insecure, because you actually feel something inside that you haven't before, and you hear, like, almost a secondary voice, which you're going to find out later on is that's the voice of your persona. Something calling up from a distance that is both inaudible, but feels real in a very unusual way. At which point he just sort of, then he kind of gives a little bit of a smile and goes, I think we're going to get to know each other better soon. But now's not going to be the time.
Do you have any intentions of coming back to us?
You'll probably see me.
Just be sure to get your registration in on time. I look forward to having you back.
Smiles and goes, aye aye. And Colton.
God, I love your character so much already. Oh my god.
So,
Yeah.
For you, so Sienna Bryce, as I recall, she's one of your relationships.
Yeah, she's the one who is in love with Miles and thinks I'm the way to get to him.
You know what? They don't always make the best. When you're a kid.
Oh,
you're a high
of course.
schooler,
Oh, no.
You don't always have the smartest.
Oh, that wasn't me, like, confusing the
Yeah.
map. That was me, like, Sienna, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's one of those funny things. It's just like, yep, she just she has an idea. It's a bad one, but it's, you know, how she goes. Okay, so where would she find you?
If it's summer and she doesn't know where I live and she's never going to. So I guess she catches me, like, leaving the library. Like right before dinner.
Okay.
Now I've got like my backpack, like I've got a lot of shit with me. I'm like head looking down at the ground, not like I'm looking where I'm walking, not where I'm going.
Yeah, very, very soon there is just like someone matches speed with you right next to you.
I don't notice until it's like 30 seconds, and then like I startle, like almost drop like a bunch of papers in my hand. I'm like, oh my Jesus fuck. Oh my god, Sienna?
Yeah, so, yeah, but she's into Miles or Elliot?
She's into, let's look at the map.
Was it,
She's into Miles.
yeah, 'cause I think someone did not put it on. Oh, why is that not showing up on the connection? Yeah, oh, shit. That's weird, because it's... Oh, that's just... Yeah, her thing, so she has the crush on Miles and is using you to get to it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check one other thing here real quick.
You sure?
No, so it's Elliot. She's trying to get to Elliot through
Yeah.
Wyatt.
She is trying to get to Elliot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Elliot's,
sorry, I
Elliot's your
think
best
there's a-
friend who's dating Miles.
Yeah, Elliot's my best friend. I didn't see a connection between Sienna and Elliot on the Kumu.
Yeah, because there's not actually on that one, but she's...
Okay, but it is, so we need to change the crush on Elliot.
Yeah. Crush on Elliot's trying to get
Yeah.
to him. Yeah, where her thing is doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as long as it's got that thing on there.
She ain't making progress either way.
Yeah, so she just comes up, she's like, so, you ready for school to start?
Sure.
Sure. So, that she knows you perform in Seattle sometimes?
Oh, I don't do live performances.
Okay. Yeah, so... So, how's Elliot?
Fine. Why?
I just want to know what that time he's in town, because I just think he's really interesting, and...
I
was, you know...
like look around me. No, he's not in town.
Kind of stops for a moment and just looks you over. Let me make a note on her sheet to remind me real quick. Sienna Bryce, head delinquent. Well, I'm just thinking, next time he's in town, if you two are free, you know, we could hang out.
I've had like 2 classes with you. Like, I'm gonna go now and just start like speed walking away.
Yeah, and I would say at which point you just hear her like fairly strongly goes, "Hey, listen,
Oh boy.
I was being nice to you, okay?
You stop me when I'm trying to go home? You think that's nice?
You're someone I'd like to get to know better. You know what? I also think Elliot's cool. I would like to get to know him too because, you know, we knew each other a little bit before he left
Then
town.
why aren't you just talking to Elliot?
And she kind of takes a step for you and is just like, how tall are you?
Oh, like 5'3".
Oh yeah, she's towering over you. Yeah, she just kind of like steps forward a little bit and like looks down and just goes, I'm staying, and she kind of pulls out a thing and writes her number down on something. She does total. Yeah, so so she's got a 12 with a D10 effect, and like just intimidating as hell. She's like, I'm saying, when he's in town, you should call me so we can all hang out.
Oh, all right. I think this is my popularity applies here.
Well, what's your thing for popularity?
I wish everyone at school would ignore me.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you wish they ignore you? This is not them ignoring you.
No, this is not them ignoring me. I wish they would. So that's 1d8. So let's see. Can you keep the results in clear, or how do we do this again?
I will. Yeah, I kept. Oh wait. Yeah, I kept them, so I will remove all dice.
All right, cool. So 1d8 for my popularity, and then probably my Elliot. Oh no! Oh, I don't have a Sienna Bryce die rating.
Oh, it'd be a D4 if you haven't added anything to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I went through and put a couple people. Like a couple people had them, so you didn't have.
Yeah.
You didn't write them down when they became.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time that's how it worked. So I'm guessing that's more applicable than Elliot in this case, because she's right in front of me tangibly.
Yeah, probably in this case.
Unfortunately, I can't get the best dice, and so I have to get the worst dice. I'm trying to see if any of my distinctions apply here. I mean, I'm at the library, like, I'm kind of on my home turf, but I don't think I'm actually using it. I think, if anything, I don't think any of my actual distinctions apply here. So is it just those 2 dice?
You might be sneaky because you're trying to, like... I mean, because you'd put a D4 if none of them do.
Like, it might be sneaky, like, I'm just, like, trying to, like, exit the conversation as fast as possible.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the generosity. I'll take the D10. All right, here we go. I don't think I got it.
Oh, well, grab a plot point for the D8s.
Uh-huh.
So 7 with the D4.
We're keeping track of plot points in Roll20, correct?
Yeah, I've actually, I gave you plot points in there. You can grab them.
All right. Plot point. How do I draw it?
Oh, you should. Are you able to just draw? If you just put over and hit.
No, I can't draw it.
Oh, you're not able to pull from it?
No, I can draw from the other ones, but not from plot points.
Oh, let me fix that real quick.
Right.
Players can draw cards. Okay, yeah, you're done. You're good.
There we go.
Okay,
Draw.
so here the thing is you failed by 5.
Uh-huh.
So, for you, would you think insecure or afraid?
Afraid.
Yeah, give yourself a D12 in that.
A D12?
Okay, in a moment here, I'm also going to show you, though, what you can do with stress once you have it.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I like that none of us succeeded our opening rolls.
It's real good. It's real good.
Yeah, that's actually good, yeah, for the fact, because I'm going to show you not only how you relieve stress, but how that becomes experience, because that's something you're going to want to take advantage of. This is a game where, like, if 2 players are in conflict, you're helping each other, essentially, especially because you can get rid of, like, there's ways to get rid of stress and turn it into experience. Yeah, so she's like, she shoves the thing at you and goes, call me next time he's in town. What do you do?
I take it and nod.
And then she kind of smiles and then, see ya, and then turns and heads off.
God, I hate her, I hate her, I hate her.
Okay. So
as she's turning away, I fucking like Snapchat her turning away, and just like a bunch of upside down smiley faces, and just send it immediately to Elliot.
Okay. So what we can probably do on Saris. Well, Orin.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to show you how stress relief works. Stress relief is, like, it can always be another player character because you always have a relationship with a player character. But it can also be someone you have a relationship with. So in this case, June. You might be able to talk a little on the way back. So the way it works is you have a scene with someone who is a friend of yours, and they essentially can try to relieve your stress. So what you end up doing, what they do is you have the scene, they'll make a roll like normal. Well, actually, first you roll all of your stress, which right now is only a single die. Then you have a scene, and then at the end of it, they roll like normal. If they succeed, your stress goes away completely and gets put into your growth pool. So it essentially becomes experience points. Yeah, if they fail, you keep your stress. So you will, on the way back, June just sort of looks over and says, "You okay? You seem a little off."
I don't know, really. You said he seemed strange, but that was more than I was prepared for.
Yeah, it's just weird. But you know, you handled it pretty well.
Like to think so, but even then, I don't know, but it felt like he was looking not at me, but past me.
Seriously, he went nuts. He left his family, he left everyone else, and he went to a hippie commune outside of Seattle, which, one, is super stereotypical. I mean, yeah, we live near Seattle, but you don't got to be that guy. Two, of course he's going to be weird. He was always a bit weird. This isn't something you have to worry about.
If he's coming back, he's one of our students, and if he's part of the student body, that makes him my responsibility. At least a little.
Yeah, and you'll handle it well. So at this point, go ahead, just roll a d8. For that's all the stress you have.
It's a 3.
A 3. Okay, this will not be hard for her to beat. We will choose best total. Keep results. And then for her, she'll roll 10, 2d8s. Oops, roll all dice. Yeah, she beat that handily. You can then take the d8 and erase it from insecure, and then just put like a 1 next to the d8 in the growth pool.
Gotcha.
So you have 1 d8 in the growth pool. Now, to be honest, we're probably not going to do growth tonight, just because we're showing the system and such. But what happens is, with the growth pools and such, at the end of a session, at the end of it, you go, okay, I would like to raise blah. Like, I want to raise whatever it is that you want to raise. And I'll pull... I'll end up putting that on each of the character sheets. But like it's fairly easy to raise or get a new relationship. Distinctions take a bit more to raise, and I think it's not too much for extras and locations. What happens is you make a roll with your experience, you create a total like normal, and then I usually roll like whatever your new thing would be. So if it's a D6 and you want to raise it, I'd roll a D8 plus, I think relationships are like a D6. So I'd roll a D8 and a D6, and if you beat it, you gain, like it goes up. If not, you can have it go up, but you have to bring something else down by 1. And like getting like I think getting like a D4 relationship, I think you can just spend the thing. I'll double check on that real quick. But yeah, it's one of those things where you then take it at the end to raise up and get new relationships, raise up what you've got at the end of the session.
All right.
Okay. And Colton, what would you do for some needed stress relief?
Oh God.
Like, who would you? Is there somebody you talk to, or?
Yeah, I mean it's either Elliot or like going on fucking Final Fantasy 14 and like raiding with people. Mm-hmm. So I think like I see if Elliot responds to the snappy, and if he doesn't, then it's Final Fantasy 14 for me.
And we want this to be like one of your friendships. So yeah, Elliot sends it back. It's like, is she still bothering you?
Yeah, I send another snap of me like lying in my bed, making like a stupid face. I put like stickers over my eyes that look like ghosts. And I'm like, she's so horny for you. Please make it stop.
Have you told her that I'm gay?
She didn't give me a chance. LOL. Why?
I laughed. It's like, oh god, I'm gonna have to talk to her, aren't I?
Maybe I should just write a song that says, Elliot is super gay, please stop talking to me.
Could you? No, that would be... No, we're not going to make you do that.
The next snap is me, I've already made like a 10-second sample. Of like mega pitch shifted. Like, Elliot, ding ding, super gay.
And just like LOL kind of goes back. It's like, listen, you did like everything you could. I will make sure that she believes that you valiantly tried to seduce me on her behalf. But I being unable to be seduced by any human being was unfortunately not able to fall for your extremely something wild. The next thing goes, there's a word I'm thinking of, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is.
I just fucking like make like a weird like regal face, a bunch of clapping emoji, and like just say most ardently.
The lady shall understand that this shall not go well for her.
Mr. Darcy, please make her leave the premises.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your stress.
So I roll the d12 afraid is what I do?
Oh, yeah, let me roll the dice. Yeah, so just roll your d12.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Okay. Roll a die. 8.
Okay.
And so what happens with this?
So, you can just go, keep it. Then
Oh, yeah.
for him, so I remove that. So for him, I'll do his relationship with you. We'll say, love and
No.
wisecracker. So, whoops, I will roll his dice. Also got an 8. So he'll beat that. So you remove the d12 and put a 1 by the d12 in the growth pool.
Put a 1 by the d12 in the growth pool.
Yes. So you basically you now have a single d12 in your growth pool.
Damn. All right.
So what that will do, and here I'm actually going to paste something in here very quickly. But it's one more thing. We don't use powers, so I'm going to remove that. So I'm going to put something in each, basically just a reminder. So you'll basically see, this is designed to make it easy to get new relationships. I'll put that, whoops. Let me actually do this. Yep. I'm going to put all those together. Let's merge all. Hook. Like that. So I just kind of put them in there so you can kind of take a look and see, like, oh, this is how those will work.
Where? Oh, right there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So at the end, like, this is one of the things we haven't done so much in, like, at the end of each session, not counting this one, because this one will go a little bit, a lot of this stuff is going to happen just a little bit, a little more quickly. But because we started a bit late, and like, get all that other stuff done, and be like, okay, here's how stuff works. But normally, I think the reason why it does, like, you get rid of your growth pool is because it's one thing it wants you to do is get more relationships. Because you use relationships so much in each of the stuff you roll that if you have a limited amount of them, you kind of run out of. You start having to really justify using them.
Yeah.
And plus, for our relationships, like the terror relationships and stuff like that, would be important. And Lexa,
Hello.
for your stress relief.
Does it have to be a relationship, or can it be a extra?
It has to be a relationship.
Has to be a relationship. Cool.
Probably Sienna for yours.
Probably Sienna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a phone call.
Cool. Yeah, God, it's probably her, like, a picture of, like, her making a very, very, like, she's doing, like, the devil horns rock and roll thing at, like, a concert or something, or, like, the two of them just doing a selfie or something. She takes off her headphones and just, like, picks it up and says, hello.
So that Wyatt guy gonna hook me up with Elliot.
Do you have to? Really have to?
Hey, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Elliot.
Who do you have a crush on, by the way?
I have a crush on...
She's asking you. You
Yeah.
may not have one. This isn't
Yeah,
me
yeah.
asking.
She's looking around her room as she says that and says, I've had this pen for like 2 years.
Oh, you suck. School starts tomorrow.
It does.
That sucks.
Doubly does.
You want to do something tonight?
Yes, name anything.
What's a place people go to hang out?
Oh god, in this town?
Can I suggest a Buffy the Vampire Slayer style 18+ bar or 16+ bar?
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
the bronze?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bronze. Yeah, that's what it's called. I was gonna say the copper. I was like, it's not the copper.
Yeah. Anybody have a suggestion for the name for it?
The cup? No. God, I don't know.
I mean, it depends how like Persona Extra we want to be with this.
We could call it the Fairy Circle,
Ooh, we could
no.
we could just call it the Fairy Circle.
or what would be a cool thing that's like maybe Oberon's.
The Oberon. It could just be the Oberon.
The Oberon. That works.
The people who made so this is like the main hangout spot for like teens. Half the kids are like, yeah, the Oberon, cool name, and the other kids are like #cringe, like.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, a lot of them
yeah.
probably don't even know it's tied. It's just like that's just the name of the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them like I'm trying so hard. Yeah, so you kind of meet at the Oberon, and she's like, "What's got you today?"
I think she does that thing of like, are they sat down or are they stood up?
Maybe standing at a table with a drink.
Yeah. I think she does that thing where she just like, without saying anything, is just like, and just like leans her head on her shoulder. Because we're making Sienna like 8 foot tall, right?
Yeah.
She's like 12 foot tall. Yeah, she does that thing where she like just leans and rests on her shoulder, like, and then she's like, so you know how my brother's a dick, right?
Yep.
Well, okay, so earlier today he came. First off, he insulted Rammstein, which
No,
I'm gonna I need to like, I'm percolating some revenge. I don't know what. But yeah, and he's up my ass about doing something with my life. Which can I just, I don't know, just not do that? Can I just sit there? Is your sister up your ass about stuff, or do you not get on?
She knows better than to do that. Listen, I can talk to him if you want.
I don't know. I don't want him to know that I've been talking about it. I want him to think that I just don't care.
All right. You know what? That's fine. We don't have to. Tonight, we're just going to be able to chill.
Right.
So go ahead and roll your stress.
I am going to show them all exactly how little I don't care. So where the fuck's my character keeper? D8. Okay. Where the Cortex Tron? D8. Roll 7.
Okay. So we'll.
Oh,
Keep
please be
that.
the only one to fail.
You got the 7. I will roll for her. Yep, she succeeds. Yeah, so on this one, go ahead, turn that into growth.
Cool.
Okay. So for everyone else, basically how that's how most of the roles in the system work. So we saw where with Orin did, where you can actually use he used the student council, got to roll both of those dice, then one of them just gets added onto the total. If you rolled student council again, this time it'd only be 1d4 instead of 2, because each session you can only use it 2 times. If someone else used it, it would remove it entirely, because student council can only be rolled twice in a session, no matter who does it. The first time takes away 1 of the dice. Second time, it's the last time it can be used.
For extras and location.
Yeah, just for extras and locations. Relationships are used, like relationships and values and distinctions are used every time you roll. If someone else has stress, you can actually roll their stress into it, or you can spend a plot point to roll your own stress.
Huh.
As well, like think of so you know, in the best way I've seen to explain that, you know how Return of the Jedi, when Vader was trying to make Luke angry after Luke had like leaped into the darkness.
Yeah.
Your sister, and then Luke came and beat his ass. That's Luke spending a plot point to go. Okay, he just gave me like D10 angry while I was in there. I'm gonna use it and gong, and then does all the damage. I think effectively takes him out in that. So those are how those work. The other thing you can do also, you can challenge a value or a relationship, where what you say is, I'm going against what my character believes on this value or relationship. So if Lexa, for example, I would do anything for love, if it turns out that there is, if she finds her but that, like, yeah. if the person, someone that Ivy loves is like, I need you to hide a body for me. And then, like, what Lexa could do is go, okay, I'm going to challenge my love, because I said I'll do anything for love, but I'm not going to. So it would triple, like she'd get 3d6 instead of 1. And for the rest of the session, it would be knocked down 1. And at the end of the session, what you can do is you can either rewrite it, at which case, if you rewrite it, it goes back to what it was before. If not, if you're like, no, I still believe I'll do anything for love, even though I've kind of proven I haven't, it stays at the lower one, and another of your values goes up.
Oh.
So that's how you, like, and the same thing with a relationship. Oh, and if a relationship, if it stays down, that actually goes into your growth pool.
Okay.
So like the moment you challenge it, not only does it triple, it goes into your growth pool. And if it's a relationship and you don't change what it says, but it stays down, that D, whatever it was, goes into your growth pool, and what it's showing is you're trying to hold on to a relationship that is not what you. It's that person like, oh no, I still love this person even though they're doing something that treats them like shit, and they decide to challenge it. Well, I'm doing this thing, but I do love them, so I shouldn't be doing this. They challenge it, but if they keep, I still love them. It's like decaying that relationship, but getting more growth for other stuff. So that is cool. That's the Smallville's got that soap opera element to it, where it is looking at how your stats affect, or like basically how your relationships and what you believe affects and changes over time. So any basic system questions? Cool.
I guess. Oh, so the growth pool.
Yeah, so
I just want to read over it because we had a lot of words. So.
Yeah, so I'll explain. So basically, a lot of that's if you have any current stress, you add the highest stress in, and then reduce all your stress by 1. You add any stress that's been relieved.
And that's what just happened in like our cases, is we relieved stress.
Yeah. So this is, and then if you've challenged any relationships or values, that level goes in, and any unrewritten, that should actually be just relationships and not values. So basically, as each of those happen, your growth pool grows. Then what you do is you roll all your dice in your growth pool, and you get your 2 things to have, like, here's what my thing is. Then before that, actually, I take what the growth is whatever the new rating on what you want is. So if you wanted to take, I still got Lexa's open. So if Lexa wanted to take the impulsive from a D4 to a D6, I'd roll a D6, because that would be the new die rating. And it's a distinction, so I would then roll a D10. So I would roll those 2 things to see if it brings up. If it was a relationship, I roll a D6 instead of the D10 plus whatever the new rating would be. And if you just want to spend a D6 or above, you automatically get or rather spend any die. You gain a D6 relationship. So like if you have a D4 stress, you could just like spend that. Oh, I'm going to get a D6 in a relationship with so and so.
Okay, and we're gonna do that next session. You said.
Yeah. So this one we want because we started a bit late to get all that other stuff done. What we'll probably end up doing is at the end of next session, going into the actual, or possibly even partway through, going into the Persona world. We'll have an opportunity. So this was sort of like, here's how the system works.
Yeah. I think for me, once we like actually do it, I'll get it.
Because it was, I know for Lexa in our Sunday game, which hasn't been together for a while, there was one session in particular where it just clicked.
Yeah, it took me forever to get it. Like, but then I was just, as soon as I got it, I was like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm such a fucking idiot.
Yeah, so the basic thing is, and like we don't use powers and stuff here, so it's a little more simplified, but it's just your value, a relationship, and a distinction. You can also throw in an extra or a location if it fits, and those are what you roll. So I said that stuff that'll make sense as we kind of play with it. I just wanted to get like the basics. Here's how stuff works. Probably tonight.
Yep.
Cool. So school starts the next day. When is your speech, Oren?
It's probably like the freshman introduction. It's like the assembly on the first day. Probably, you probably do it first.
Okay. And so everyone's sort of arriving at school. You've got like people are going into the gym and they're getting all of their they're getting their schedules and everything else. And as they're getting their schedules, they're then going up into the bleachers. You've got like a giant thing of freshmen. Occasionally you see some freshmen that happen to have known someone because of a sibling or something that are going and sitting with them. But for the most part, you have like the freshmen all sitting together, and then you've got everybody else sitting in their sort of groups, which will go, sophomores through seniors. Yeah, I don't know if you're so like Lexa freshmen are this will be their first year in the building.
Yeah, and then you have what's the second year? Sorry, called?
Sophomore. You were sophomores last year. You're now juniors.
Oh, we're doing juniors. All right.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. You'll be sophomores.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
You're 15 or turning 16, or yeah, you're either 16. I think in Oren, you're 16, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you got your license, and I think Colton, did you have yours?
I think I decided on 16. I think it's on my Persona sheet.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Yeah, so I think in that case, you two would have your license. Lexa, you do not.
Maybe it's on 16th, like in like a week.
Yeah. So
yeah. I think I'll be turning 16, like, pretty soon. And
yeah,
I'll just say I'm 16, whatever.
Yeah. So you might have hit that thing where like, and part of this will decide if you want to end up doing. I guess having a car and being able to do it is a little bit different, and having the license. So we can decide if you have to take driver's ed or if you took it over the summer.
I definitely have to take driver's ed.
Well, did you say you had a car?
I'm not the one who has a car. That's
okay. I could repeat it too.
That fancy name.
Yeah. So, Saris, it's going to be unusual because I think you are. Are you the first sophomore to actually be in charge of the student council?
What? I'm sorry.
Oh, are you the first sophomore to be in charge of the student council?
Yeah, probably. Just
okay.
Due to everything he is, he's probably disrupted a good portion of the system on his way in.
Yeah. So when everyone kind of gathers and like you're able to kind of go up and give your speech, there is a moment from the people who don't pay attention. They're like, "Why is this sophomore up there?" How do you greet the school?
I don't have any kind of speech.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the school mascot? It's like when my high school would say like, welcome Falcons. They'll call the students Falcons.
Yeah. You can also just say, like, here's generally what I think if you don't want to do it. You don't have to do a speech.
Like, the speech he's delivering isn't like... You know how you get, like, when you listen to, like, commencement speeches and that, like, there's the valedictorian or whatever, but there's always, like there's the version of that you can clearly tell is, like, the more popular kid, and it's, like, kind of a charisma-based, like, here's inside joke from our year, ha ha ha. Yeah, that kind of thing. There's none of that.
I'm shocked.
This is... It's not terse, but it's very to the point. He exudes kind of... There's kind of a silent authority to the whole thing. It's not threatening, but it's very clearly placing the walls down.
Okay.
That we're
Very
here.
dry.
I imagine he's a decent enough speaker that it's not, like, grating or dry, but it's very clearly, we are all here together. I'm in charge of you lot. Don't make me have to do anything.
I
Okay,
look forward
okay.
to helping guide you.
So,
Yeah,
so this could be a fun thing we do. Let's do this. Do you want to make this like a confrontation with the entire school?
Yes.
Okay. So what you'll do? So 'cause the thing is,
Session 1! Session 1!
if you succeed, what I'll be able to do is here is this is something that is not kind of part of core Smallville, but actually is part of Cortex and would work really well here. What we could do is give you an asset that might be like, if you succeed here, like a D8 intimidated, like intimidating or something along those lines, or like in charge, that you could then use it. So like once you use it, it would go away. But yeah, you could actually use this to create one going against the trouble pool that has been built up so far with the ones that have been rolled.
Fucking hell. Fuck him up, fam.
And if you do this, the effect die, the effect die would become the level of asset. The asset you would be able to roll and add in the same way you would a distinction, would be on top of that.
And let's go. Let's fight the whole fucking school.
God.
What are plot points good for again? Because I feel like
Almost the same. I've got to think for plot points. Almost the same as when we did with the Marvel Heroics. Remember, this is the same base. The basic of this is the same thing. You can include more results. If you want to put in like an extra distinction, you could do that. Like for you, you have like your family reputation here might all like both not born yesterday, and then you decide like, oh, I'm going to use one plot point for family reputation, say.
Yeah.
And then maybe spend a second plot point to then add in have 3 be your total instead of just 2.
Works for me. I'll also use the student council thing, because I've still got one more use of that this session.
Yeah, I'm assuming June's right up there with you.
Yeah, June
Yeah.
is definitely on my... right next to me on this one, so 2d4s.
Remember, you can only use 1d4 for the student council, because when you use it once, it removes one of those d4 for the rest of the session.
Alright, okay. So let's... Let's impress my justice upon these people.
I love that judgment is your quality, because it's immediately like, listen, fuckers.
Listen, fuck. At the D8 from June. Take the D8 from Family Rep. And you said I can pull out an extra quality for...
Yeah, if you wanted to spend like for your maybe not born yesterday or something like that, you could.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab for Not Born Yesterday, because this is, I know you fucks are going to do something. That's just how it works. Okay, so 3 8s, D12. That should be everything. tap anybody or anything else. Let's roll them dice. So I get another plot. I get my plot point back.
Yep.
What's the biggest total here? Highest total is no. That's a +4 because that D4 doesn't actually exist. So it's 18 with a D8 effect.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah.
Damn.
So technically, it's a 20 with a D8 effect, right? Yeah, because the 4 gets added onto it. So then I will roll the current trouble pool when I clear all these, which is...
Are we included in this?
No,
Are you part of the student body?
Are we fucking gonna be intimidated to fuck?
I'm way too busy playing Granblue Fantasy on my phone or some gachapon.
So you had a D8. So basically, what I'm letting you do here is create an asset.
Mm-hmm.
So so they got a 6 total with a D4 effect.
Oh no!
You got a 20. So with that extra one, you actually get to then raise it up from a D8 to a D10. So if you want to make a note on your thing, asset D10, and I don't know if you want to call it like, at the end of it, do you want them to be like inspired by your leadership or trust you, or do you want them to be a little afraid?
I'm not like a cruel dictator. I want to have like the trust of the student body. Like they look at me and this is a strong, just man who is leading us. Truly, we can count on him.
Okay. So make a place, just put like an asset maybe off to the side, because an asset, once it's used, it goes away. But make a note that asset is like a D10, maybe like leadership. So you gave that kind of great speech where everyone's like, "Oh my god, like, this guy's really got it together. This is incredible." And so they're sort of looking to you. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was gonna say, are assets one use or multiple use?
One use.
One use. Okay.
Yeah, and in general, it's not usually a thing with Smallville, but like it just seemed like a good thing. It's like, wait a minute, if you kind of have everyone there, we can kind of use them to create assets here and there. You can create an asset for yourself. Usually, it's against the trouble pool, which now will be. Okay. So at this last point, because I know we need to end in about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm almost wondering if I don't know if we want to call it a little bit early because to get into the school stuff might actually be interesting next time to kind of go into it. It kind of feels if we start now, we're not going to have enough time to really build much.
Yeah. I think that would be a good time to end it.
Yeah. So if we're okay with that, so one thing we can do also is, like, at the beginning, because Orin, it's usually a little bit longer before you can get here, we can start off with some stuff with Lex and Colton a little bit earlier. And then when you come in, kind of build that stuff up with what's going on. And then one thing they did on... So if you go into the Persona folder,